Hello, welcome back to Theme Parks and Attractions. Today I'm at Thorpe Park for my first visit. Can't wait to check out the park. It is very windy here today. You can see the queues just behind me for some of the flat rides. I'm going to show you around right now. Now when I say big winds, it's not big winds at all. There's a light breeze. You can see by the tree up there, it's not too bad. But that's causing big delays, and you can see lots of queues on the flat rides. But the funny thing is, Stealth is operating. And here we go, Colossus closed, Nemesis Inferno closed, Rush closed, Samurai closed, Saw is 90 minutes, Stealth 60, and the Swarm closed. I suppose it's a ride on Stealth first, so let's get over there. What I've always found funny about the parks in the UK compared to abroad is, obviously, if you go over to Europe or whatever, a little bit of wind like this, there's not much at all. I mean, it's just a slight breeze, a little bit of wind, and all the rides go down over it. It's a bit of a joke, really, if I'm honest. People pay a lot of money to come over here. In the UK, whether it's health and safety or whether it's park operations, I'm not too sure really, but it's probably a mix of both. But it's a little bit of a joke, because you go abroad, you go over Germany, go over Poland, places like that, they'll operate the rides in the snow, let alone a little bit of wind. So it's not great, is it? Especially if you're paying a lot of money to come here. I'm not paying a lot of money to come here, but I'm sure a lot of people around here are not going to be too happy about that. Welcome everyone, happy Mardi Gras! I've got to say though, Thorpe Park have done a great job with all of these buildings around here, this new area, and I'm really impressed with it. Obviously it's looking very tired and dated, and now it looks great, what with all of the vibrant colours on there. Obviously you've got the Mardi Gras running right now, just over here, you've got the music just over here. Stealth's operating in high winds, that's crazy in my eyes, but it's operating and it's on a 40-minute wait, so let's get on there. Looking forward to getting back on this. And what they've done with all of this front is really good as well. They've updated all of this for this season, so can't wait to get on. Anyway, I'll see you when I'm in there. Now I went to Alton Towers a couple of weeks back and it was the same thing. I was over standing by Oblivion, all of the rides went down for hours, people weren't impressed, everyone going to guest services because of the wind issues. And having wind problems with certain rides, that's not an issue at all in my eyes. Certain rides obviously can't go around in the high winds or anything. I haven't got a problem with that. But if you just look at this, look at the Swarm just sitting there. I mean, if you look at these branches just over here, I mean, I've got no words really. And in the Stealth queue line, you've also got the Hyperia screens, the advertising Hyperia. That's opening very, very soon. Can't wait for that. Just waiting for a front row ride now. And here we go, front row. Just had my front row ride on Stealth. I really enjoyed that, apart from obviously all of the rain coming in your face. Really great ride, great to be back on Stealth. They've done a great job with all of the painting around here as well. It looks absolutely great from Thorpe Park. It's great to see that all these little improvements have been made around the park. Right, I'm a little bit hungry now, so let's get some lunch. Just a quick note, when you visit Burger King, it's not included on your Merlin pass, so you don't get your 20% off. And here we go, got my burger. It's actually a bean burger that I've gone for today. Got a few onion rings, got a few fries. I've had some of the fries, so I've got a few left, and I've gone for a Fanta. Next ride is going to be Nemesis Inferno. Not been on this for a while, so looking forward to getting back on this. Obviously, I've been on Reborn quite a few times now, and it rides absolutely shocking. It really does. What with the jolt on there, so I'm really interested how this rides. Obviously, the original Nemesis didn't have a problem with it, and I could sit on it all day. You could just re-ride it all the time. but that rattle on Reborn is absolutely terrible, so can't wait to get on this. Let's get over there. Change of plan, I might get back on this later because the queue is currently at 75 minutes. It was on 40 minutes, shot right up to 40. Lots of the coasters around the park, as we know, keep going down because of the high winds. It's not high winds at all. It's got a little bit of a breeze, but as I was saying, this is obviously the UK policy around the parks, isn't it? And it's only going to get worse due to global warming, isn't it? So you need to put some dark rides in, put some dark coasters in, and then we won't have this problem. Hyperia looks absolutely stunning in the backdrop. Just look at that. Admire that view. I do really want to get on Nemesis Inferno, so hopefully I can get on there later, as I was saying. But an hour and 15 at least, it might even be more than that, hour and 45, something like that. It's a little bit much, isn't it? But there's not a lot of alternatives really, so I'm just going to get around, see what the other wait times are like, and then decide after that. Now, as I make my way around, there's new food options here for 2024. You've got the bubble tea bar and you've got Spice Kitchen. And this is the menu and prices for the Spice Kitchen, £9 on those. I'll show you the food just over here. You've got the rice in there, you've got the curry dishes, noodles, that looks nice. And then you've got the bubble tea bar, £6.50 for a small, £8.50 for a large, and then you just choose your tea, flavour. And there we go. Yeah, it's always nice having different things come in at different parks. Just show you a little bit of a zoom and look, just over there. Yeah, there's even a bar area there where you can relax and have a drink when it's nice and warm. Here we go, they're testing Samurai. It looks absolutely stunning. Back to the original colours. What they've done with this is unbelievable. It looks absolutely stunning. And you've even got some Samurai parts just down there. This vlog's not going to go up straight away. I've got lots of content coming on the channel, and I'm only putting up 2 vlogs a week at the moment, so whenever this vlog does come up, little bits of it is going to be a little bit outdated, and that's why I'm not putting in Hyperia in this vlog either, because it's not long now till Hyperia opens, so it's no good me putting this up in a week and a half, a couple of weeks or something like that, because as we all know, Hyperia is opening very soon. So it's the same with Samurai really. Even though it's testing right now, it'll probably be open by the time that you come here, well, by the time that you watch this vlog, so it's one of them, isn't it? But look at this, and look at that view. Got Saw going up just over there. Now, as I was thinking with Saw, they're testing these rides obviously due to the wind. Colossus is closed as well, but in my eyes, if you just wait around the area for the ride to open, you're probably going to save yourself a bit of time anyway, because if it's half hour, 20 minutes or something for this to happen, you're only queuing not very long to get on here. Whereas if you go somewhere else and it's an hour wait, 75 for Nemesis Inferno, then potentially you're going to be queuing up a lot more like that, and it's not very nice, is it, standing in queue line? So I'm going to wait around this area, see if this or Colossus opens, and I'll give it about 30 minutes to see if that happens. It's great that the blades are back in operation though. And that's what I was saying, Saw's already back up. I was waiting for 2 or 3 minutes, and there's people now going around on it, and the sign says open, so it's one of those, isn't it? I've always found this queue line to be terrible though, with all the barbed wire around it. It's not the best, is it? It's broken down, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to wait. Thorpe Park for you. Waiting in the queue about 20 minutes now. This is the problem with the Merlin parks. Obviously, if you get wind in these parks, they're going to shut the rides down, and then you're stuck in here. And this is the future for Merlin, isn't it? Because obviously the UK health and safety, so you have to build a lot of indoor coasters, not ones that go outside. This is what you need to do in the future. There we go. Someone has just showed me on their phone. You can see all of the rides are down, apart from Nemesis Inferno and Walking Dead, but this is what happens at Thorpe Park lately, because I saw this the other day on the app where all the rides were down because of wind, and also it's been happening a lot lately at Alton Towers too, so this is a big problem, isn't it, going forward? Yeah, it's not the park's problem if there's wind speed or anything like that, but the trouble is it's the way that they go about it, isn't it? Just going to show you out here quickly. Obviously everyone's sitting down and everything. And if you look at those branches up there, they're not moving around crazy. I mean, there's a little bit of wind, but not a lot at all. And finally, we're moving after about half hour. Absolutely crazy from the park. There wasn't any wind hardly out there. I went out there and they keep doing this. As I was saying, it's just getting a little bit of a joke now, because obviously you can understand if it's high winds out there, certain rides can't operate, but the actual wind speed is pretty comical really. I've been to parks all over the world and you won't get any of this rubbish out there. Obviously if you go to Florida and things and there's a thunderstorm coming in, strong wind, something like that, you can understand the ride's going down, but that is not the case here, and it wasn't the case at Alton Towers when I was there either. So seems like it's going a bit crazy, if I'm honest. I'm not too sure really what to say about it all, but it's not good, especially if you spend hundreds of pounds with a family coming here and that happens. And well done, you get a free ticket because it's been activated, but that doesn't account for things like fuel, accommodation, food costs, and yeah, it's not great, is it? Now, I don't like moaning all the time, but I'll say it how it is, and if people don't like that, then that's their issue, isn't it? I'm just saying it how it is. There's a lot of unhappy people around the park, and when I visited a couple of other parks as well, there's quite a few unhappy people there as well. Obviously, a lot of people are spending a lot of money, haven't they? I don't really care whether I get my ride or not, because I'm at these parks all the time, but I just feel really bad for them. It's just the way the park's operated. It's the UK health and safety, which really needs to change in my opinion, because we can't keep having this, can we? There we go, got a bit of wind action going on here. They might have to close the ride down, I don't know, it's going to be a tricky one. And here we go, row 1 on Soar. Looking forward to getting back on this. I haven't got on it for a while. Not one of my favourite rides, but it is what it is, isn't it? Just had my ride on Soar. Now the girl on there took about 20 seconds loading more people next to me, which is absolutely crazy. She's holding the ride up. She was asking people how many people, and there was just no one on there, so you can see why the queue line's going up, can't you? I asked another member of staff what the hold up was, and the answer that I got was, she's new. Yeah, she's new. I mean, what am I supposed to say to that? Colossus unfortunately is closed, so it's one of them, isn't it? Just walk around. Obviously it says high winds, you can see high winds may cause some delays, but we do our best to get the rides up. Now Colossus, you can understand it going down because it's an older coaster, but some of the other rides, I mean, it's just hit and miss, isn't it? Now Slammer's been sitting here a long time. I used to like Slammer when it was here. It's not going to be here much longer, so I'm not surprised if next season this gets removed permanently by the park, because there's been whispers around that this will be finally getting removed possibly next season, so we'll have to see with that. Obviously it's all overgrown around here, and I was a fan of Slammer. You can see it in there. I'm going to give you a bit of a zoom in a minute and show you the vehicle in there, but yeah, I was a fan of it, but obviously you couldn't get the parts for it or anything like that, so the ride unfortunately went. Now what are they going to put in here in the future, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see, won't we? And there we go, you can see it in there sitting. I've given you a bit of a closer look. You might not see this ever again. And there we go, Slammer. See you later. It was a decent ride. Now as I was saying earlier, this whole area has been given a whole new lease of life. You've got Sunset Cinema over there, and it's actually showing Ready Player One 4D experience, which is a bit of a strange one for me because I wouldn't have picked Ready Player One. It's been out for a long time now. I know they went with Angry Birds before, and that was already outdated when they went with that before that. And Ready Player One is actually, well, it's very outdated, isn't it? So it's another strange one from the park, but the whole area itself looks a lot better. You can see you got the Fireworks New Orleans sign just over there. I really like that. You've got the Love Heart photo opportunity there, and that's right by Detonator. On top of that, you've got a cocktail bar, Mardi Gras cocktail bar just over here. Cocktails are $11.50, beer and cider $7.50 on those. But yeah, I really like what they've done with this area. Obviously the concept art is really good as well, and it looks a lot better than it was. I mean, I'm not a fan of the film choice, I've already said that, but it is a lot better than what it was. Detonator just over here closed, as I was saying. That's fair enough with Detonator. That's what you'd expect really. I was going to get on Nemesis Inferno, but that's actually still over an hour on Nemesis Inferno, so it's just a walk around at the moment. Hopefully a few of those queue times change too. Swarm is currently on 55 minutes. Now there is a sweet shop called Sweet Easy in here, So shall we have a look? I've not been in here before, and this looks really nice what they've done with this. You've got all of the pick and mix over it, £8.50 on that. Yeah, this looks really nice, smells lovely in there as well. If you're looking for some Haribo, £3.50 on those. You've got some £2 sweets here, you've got a load of smaller sweets just over here too. You've even got a stick of rock just over here, and they are £2 each. That is a big improvement in there, it's really good in there. I love the re-theme on this Big Easy bumpers just over here. I'll show you a bit of footage from this. Obviously it's a lot better now than what it used to be like when it was Angry Birds Land. The cars look nice and fresh on there, everyone looks like they're having a good time. And by Big Easy bumpers, you've got crepes over here. They're £7 for the normal ones, £8 for the chocolate ones just over here. Love a good crepe. And then you've got Boulevard Bites over here where you can get loads of hot dogs. They're £15, quite expensive on the loaded hot dog there for a pulled pork one. You've got loaded fries there, £12.50, £10.50. Vegan hot dog, normal hot drink, fries. But yeah, the pulled pork one is quite expensive. But yeah, they're here if you're looking for one. Now, I usually don't go on Walking Dead, but 50 minutes, I mean, let's get on there. On a day like today, why not? Let's go and do it. So let's get inside. I'm not too sure how long Walking Dead's going to be here for, whether they're going to re-theme it again. It's had more re-themes than I've had hot dinners, hasn't it? So it's one of those, isn't it? We might as well just get on it. When it's a day like this, other rides are going down all day. You know that this ride, unless there's a problem with the ride, it's not going to go down, is it? Would you queue 45 minutes for The Walking Dead? Let me know in the comment section. Just had my ride on Walking Dead, and what can I say about it? In my opinion, it's a deadbeat coaster, loads of dead spots in there. I'm actually being deadly serious, and that's it really. I've put deadly, dead 3 times now, so what can I say about it? The queue line is actually better than the coaster itself, and the Walking Dead theme in there, shocking, it really is. When it was X No Way Out a long time ago, it's so much better. I'm not sure why they re-themed it. Obviously Walking Dead was popular back then, but not so popular now, is it? So get rid of it and put something else in my opinion. Obviously if you compare that to some of the indoor coasters around the world, it's pretty laughable really, isn't it? Some of the props in there look like they come from B&M. It is what it is. The queue line though is really good, as I was saying. Really good queue line. You've even got an actor in there scaring people, a few props in there, a few jump scares, so the queue line, really good. The rest of it, dead. Now I said earlier I'm not going to moan again in this vlog. That's not me moaning, that's just me stating facts about that last ride, Walking Dead. So yeah, obviously if you want my actual review, that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If I don't like something, I'll say it. I'm not one of them people that's going to walk around and say everything's great when it's not. I'll tell you what, every time we walk into this area here, it absolutely takes your breath away. What Thorpe did with this area was really impressive. Not everyone's a fan of wing coasters. I actually love the Swarm, it's a really good coaster, and I always give it praise. I mean, you go to a lot of other parks and they don't put the effort in with the theming like they do here. Now the Swarm is on 1 hour and 10 minutes. It's a little bit too much for me. Obviously this is my local park, so 1 hour and 10 minutes for the Swarm is a little bit much for me, unfortunately. I love the Swarm though. Now I'm going to be visiting lots of times with Hyperia coming up, so things like that, if it's an hour I'm going to leave it, but I'll definitely be back for more and I'll take you along for the journey with me. Now something a bit new here from Thorpe Park, rules of the playground. This is new here, it's a nice little family area. You've got a nice little slide over there and a few things for the kids. So obviously at Thorpe Park there's not a lot to do for the kids, but this is here. It's actually good that there's something for the little ones here, because there's nothing here, let's be honest, is there, except for the little banana boat around the other side. And that was my crazy day at Thorpe Park. You can see the flat ride over there is not going around, and it's very quiet around here. There's 2 hours left of the day. It actually closes at 6 today. But yeah, I've had a mixed day. Like I said, I've really enjoyed my ride on Stouth. At the start of the day, that was alright. I only waited about 45-50 minutes for that, so that wasn't too bad at all. As for the rest of the day, I mean, it was terrible if I'm honest, because obviously the Merlin parks at the moment have been having a lot of downtime due to the wind, obviously going around the parks at the moment, and I can't really understand it because, like I've been saying, if you go to other places abroad, you only get that temporarily, don't you? And then it comes back up again. That's obviously if there's a hurricane or something like that. Now if you look around me and look at those trees up there, they're not really moving, are they? I mean, there's nothing, is there? So what is the actual wind speed? Does anyone know what the actual wind speed guidelines are? Can you let me know in the comments? Because I went to guest services just now, and the man in there, he didn't know, he didn't have a clue on the wind speed, because I asked what's the wind speed obviously got to be for the rides to go down, and he didn't have a clue, which is fair enough. Some people obviously, they only get to come to these places once or twice a year, don't they? And they spend quite a lot of money in fuel, accommodation, so that's what winds me up, not me not having my rides, because obviously I come to these places all the time, so it doesn't bother me really that much if I get my rides or not. And that's why I miss some of them sometimes, but obviously I feel really bad for certain people. They've spent a lot of money and they're getting nothing in return. I mean, you can get a free ticket, but that doesn't cover you everywhere else, does it? Yeah, as I was saying, they give you that free ticket, don't they, to come back. That's if you're not a pass holder though. And even if they do replace that, like I said, if you're 4 or 5 hours away up north and you're only coming down here once this year, that's useless to you, isn't it? I mean, also, if you've stayed on site accommodation or you've stayed nearby and then you go and pay for meals for a family of 4 or something like that, you use about £80 in fuel, you're not going to be happy with this, are you? Obviously, the wind speed situation, I don't know, it's obviously a UK thing with the Merlin parks, because you don't get that anywhere else. I've not had it anywhere else at any of the other parks. I know they have bigger roller coasters here, but still, it's just a Merlin thing really, because I've had it at Alton Towers. So yeah, it can't be very nice for those people, can it? As for the pass holders though, I mean, people like me and other people, if you've got the gold or platinum passes, and obviously you're not getting anything back from it, if you just travel 2 hours or something like that, it's only going to cost you £20-25 in fuel. But if you're travelling further afield to the other end of the country or something, and you're still a pass holder, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth that they're getting a free ticket, obviously. And you're getting nothing back. I asked obviously for everyone else, do you get anything back? Do you even get any money off any fast tracks, anything like that? And nothing is in their policy whatsoever to give you anything if you're a pass holder. And in my opinion, that's completely wrong, because obviously the gold pass is £180 or something like that. The platinum pass is more. These people buying single tickets, they might only buy 1 or 2 tickets for the year, mightn't they? And that's £45 a ticket, something like that. They're getting their whole money back by coming again in the future. Whereas us pass holders are getting absolutely nothing, and the park's rinsing us, and that is pretty disgusting in my eyes. And I'll say it out there, I'm not gonna call them out or anything like that, but I say it how I feel. Obviously us pass holders are paying the money. It is what it is. I mean, without slating the park anymore, I can't really say anything else, but it's true, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to get back here for Hyperion in the future. We both know I'm coming back, whether the rides are operating or not. So for me personally, I'll be back, but for other people, they're not going to be impressed, are they? If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Also, drop me a comment. Have you been here lately and had the same experience as what I have, with a lot of downtime on the rides lately due to wind not actually being there and just being a little gust and there being health and safety crybabies? Let me know in the comments, and as always, I'll see you in the next theme parks and attractions video. Watch this channel if you don't want something washed out and someone saying everything's great when it's not. See you soon.